Hello guys, hope you are doing well, and we are grateful to God that you're here. For the returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support all through. For those who haven't subscribed, kindly hit that subscribe button. So today we are back again with interesting
Serious.
and an interesting and a serious topic about Kenyan politics. What is your thought about Kenyan politics? Yeah, that's the question we are trying to answer today. Yeah, so welcome. Stay tuned. Mjisikie nyumbani.
Mluhi haiko chai.
Unataka nichinje kuku?
She went all out with that to say, bruh.
Yeah.
Aya, niulize swali basi.
So, Christabel, generally, just give us like a nutshell what you think about Kenyan politics. In a nutshell.
Kenyan politics is trash. 100% would not recommend. It's the ghetto. I don't know. I think there was this TikTok video, ile adulting. Because like adulting is the ghetto. 100% would not recommend. That's the same way I feel about Kenyan politics. I think for the longest time, when did you get your Facebook account?
Kitambo. I think 2009, then about 2010.
2010. I think I also got mine around the same time. And you know, when you're signing up for Facebook and then you're filling out those slots, like religious, whatever. I remember for politics, I wrote NKT. Ile aku click. Those times, those days when we were young. So I've always felt like Kenyan politics are just, they're not the thing for me. And the reason I don't like them so much is because of the things I see. I think some of them we're going to talk about in this episode. Like, yeah, I just don't like Kenyan politics. And I like the fact that for this video, we've specified. There's a difference between politics and leadership. We're not talking about leadership. And I don't even think we have leadership in Kenya. We have politicians. So yeah, that's my first point. Politics is...
those people I'd say are leaders. They have not been given an opportunity. Yes, we have leaders. But those people that can really represent as well, we haven't given them the opportunity. Yeah, we end up, okay, we'll talk about that some other time. So actually, maybe I'd define Kenyan politics as always when you're in the same way. It's like generally Kenyan politics is a true definition of politics is a dirty game.
Yeah, it's very dirty.
Yeah, it's a dirty game full of corruption, tribalism, you know, even assassinations. So I don't think we are at a good place really. Yeah, I think we should just reform. Actually, right now, if I'd elect a president, I'll elect a reformist because we need to reform the whole thing.
The whole narrative around politics.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Which brings me, now nimepata a question that wasn't even related to this topic, but I think it applies. So, yeah, we need change for politics to be clean, rather. The only way the citizens can effect that change is through voting and democracy.
And it begins with you and me.
Do we have democracy to begin with? If I say that I'm gonna use my right to vote, is it gonna count? Or is there always gonna be a player? Kuna conspiracies, bruh. There's always a player behind the player. I've had talks about, the presidential seat. There's always someone who's pushing the buttons. So, like, at the end of it, is democracy an illusion? Like, will we ever have democracy enough to effect change?
And that's something we should fight for as Kenyans. Because I don't think we really have democracy. And that's the reason why I said it begins with you and me. I think it begins with someone. For someone to violate our democracy,
we've given them that opportunity.
Yeah, we've given them.
We've become compliant.
And for me to comply to violating someone's democracy, then I'm on the wrong. No, it all begins with you and me. And people forget, as much as I comply to what those big wins, the dynasties tell us, how their lives are moving on so well, but where economy will hit me the same way it hits you, you won't be excluded from that. So that's one thing people forget. Yeah.
Ooh, now she's mentioned two things that I would like to comment about. She's mentioned politics as a dirty game. And I would like to say, I think we've encountered that personally in campus politics. These things huanzia chini. They don't start to kunje. In campus politics, people would actually threaten each other. You're threatening your opponent.
And also, people could gang up together as like there's one tribe.
Tribes. Yeah. We used to have meetings. At this tribe is voting for this person. Really?
Or today, Kikuyus and Kales are going to join together. Usually such kind of things. So it started way like those days from campus.
It starts at a very, very lower level. And I think if we're going to address it, it should start at that level as well. I think by the time we were leaving JKUAT, they'd abolished the voting system. It was now a sort of electoral college. Like a few people go vote.
Of which it's a good thing.
No, I do not like it. How can one person represent the desires of everybody? You get me? And these few people were easier to bribe to vote for a particular person. So you get me?
Yeah.
I think Kituka ilikuwa infringe democracy for me. Yeah.
Okay, we can moving on to the next point. I think we'd already said we need like clean people, like very fresh people.
Safi.
Yeah. For instance, people who've never represented who've never taken any political seat to represent us maybe come 2022. And also, I think that those people, okay, I won't mention names, but you can see your leaders from huko chini. Maybe you have
grassroots.
Grassroots. You have
like
maybe an MCA or an MP who is really doing well. Why don't you sell him out so that he can represent us as the president come 2022? Like I think we have quite a number of good examples.
We have leaders, but they're not being given political positions.
Exactly. So you can find maybe, and there's one maybe who is not into politics, but he's capable to represent us so well. So we can push those people to represent us come 2022. And if you feel like your MP has represented you well, has catered for your needs, he can really do well as the president, or given a big political seat, he can really do well. Then why not?
These are the people we need to be hyping.
Yes, we should hype such kind of people. That's my point.
We need to get over good mentality. Yeah, we need to get over good mentality. So I share that sentiment with Velma, where she says we need fresh blood. And I think there's a time I was so mad. I don't know what I was mad about. I even went on Twitter and I was like, this entire regime needs to go. My perspective is that I really feel like the entire regime we have right now really needs to go. These are mostly people who should already be retired. Okay, I don't know if that came out badly, but they really should not be in politics anymore. We've had enough of their stories. We've had enough of we're going to do this, and they never quite end up doing it. And then, it's a case of, I don't know, even in employment, I think that's why we're facing a lot of unemployment for the youth. Because we have people who should have moved on and left it for them. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Even in politics, older, wiser, but I really don't think so. I mean, wiser depends on who the person is. So the younger generation needs to also step up. And when we are stepping up, we need to prioritize now. We've put a clear-cut line between politicians and leaders. The younger people, we should be now motivating to go ahead. We need leaders now. We need the younger leaders. We need the young blood to come in. I'm not saying they're going to be better, because I've raised that concern of in campus we already had people who are corrupt, who are threatening other people. I'm not saying we are clear of being bad people. I'm just saying out of the young people that we have at the moment, there's a few who are leaders. There's a few. I'm not saying we go with young people and we just choose anyone. We choose someone because alikuwa a student leader in campus and you think that they are automatically going to make a better national leader. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we look at the attributes of the people we are putting in power. Because I don't think, for as long as we are allowing goons to be fight. Okay, oh my God, I call people goons. As long as we are allowing people with questionable characters to be fighting against themselves, we always end up with choosing the lesser evil rather than choosing the best that we can get for ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, I think Christabel had exhausted about youth and politics. We exhaust everything that she said. think I agree with almost everything that she said.
Almost.
Almost everything.
Yeah. That's the beauty of opinions.
Above all, what I'd like to encourage you guys, come 2022 or any other time in future, I think your vote is your responsibility as well. Don't just shy away from voting. You say, okay, there's no democracy in India, I'm not gonna vote. Remember, your vote today will affect your kid come 2030. So it's very, very important for you to make that decision so that also you can have that courage to hold on account those people who have been voted in. Because I did not vote for you. You haven't done this or I voted for you. Why?
I'd like to add a point on that one. The people who voted for Uhuru the second time, people have really been going on social media that are like, I voted for this guy twice. I like that. So next time, go vote for someone who's responsible so that you don't have to feel guilty for voting for the wrong person.
When the economy hits us, haita mind like you are a Kikuyu, you are Lizu, what you come, you are the neighbors, you are the president's neighbor. Your haita mind, it will hit us the same way. Fare tu nitalipa kutoka Nairobi hadi Nyeri. The same fare you'll also pay. So
can I, before you go forward, on the story of a vote being a responsibility, I'd like to talk as someone who's, after the last elections, and we had a rerun and we had to vote again, and then after the outcome, I was just like, sasa hizi ni nini? And it was our first time voting, It was our first time voting. So I was also discouraged. I was also like, utainipata nimeamka kwenda kuvote. But now think about it, and I think I would like to put this to the test, that during the US elections, I saw quite a number of people going online and saying, your vote counts, because at the end of the day, if we have such a huge margin between whoever is number 1 and number 10, even rigging is impossible. Rigging is impossible. If you have an undeniable
like
margin.
20.
But
what we do in Kenya, we have like 50-50 kind or 60.
And that's the other thing. We were having a conversation with someone, a friend of ours, Anitwa Minako. He has a channel, you can check him out. He was telling us that...
so as I was saying, before she...
she got confused.
Anyway, what I was saying, vote for change and vote for someone you believe can deliver. In that, if he doesn't do it, you can hold him or them into account. You did it. Now you remembered what you wanted to say.
Yeah, I kind of remembered what I wanted to say. The friend was telling us that the reason why voting and rigging and divided votes usually happens is because we have goons pitted against each other. And since they know there is power in unity and power with me and you, if we come together, we can make changes. And they know that. So they work by dividing and conquering. They'll come to you, tell you this thing. They'll come to the other person, tell them the other thing. By that, they've already divided your votes. Have you ever seen, even in elections where, we even had such a situation during, I think it was a class election or something, and then we had 2 members from our class vying for the same seat. Now you see, as much as we believe in both these 2 people, they divided votes. You get? That's the same concept they use. They divide votes. And that's why we can't have that huge margin. I've never seen in Kenya where we have an election where there's a margin of like 80% to 20. It's usually 40, 50. And that's why it's very easy for
someone to rig.
Yeah.
And also stand for the right thing. Even if you'll be left alone, die with it to the end.
That's hard though.
Yeah, it's hard, but... And also, one of my last points, don't be easily brainwashed by these politicians. But at the end of the day, they are running for their interests. They're after their interests and they don't care about you. As long as they have made money, they have built their name, that's enough for them. They don't mind. So there's a certain meme I saw and people are really laughing, but how I know what it really means. They're saying the same people that believed like Uhuru and Raila were enemies was it in 2013 or 2007 thereabout, are the same people who still believe like Ruto and Uhuru are enemies right now.
On the political field they seem like enemies, but they're actually
for
friends.
Ground, they're actually friends. Just as Chris will say, they really embrace unity. So as much as they might be apart right now, want to pretend to the public they're apart, in other things, in business, they're together, they're building each other. They're trying to help each other in different ways. So don't be easily brainwashed by them. Also, always mind about your neighbor. At the end of the day, don't be so tribal. At the end of the day, okay,
Inakusaidia nini?
Like Juu, if any case right now, we come from different backgrounds, Kwamboka and I, you see. Kitu kinifanyikia, I'll run to Kwamboka. Sitaenda kwa Uhuru, by the way, you see. So I really should take care of Kwamboka. Unaona, nisimhurt on political grounds. Yes.
I like that point. I like that point because it came up during post-election violence in 20. Those years zinanichanganya, but the post-election violence that we had in 2007. That really came up because neighbor turned against neighbor. Mmekuwa mkiishi in harmony, mmekuwa mkiombana chumvi na skari, and suddenly you're lifting up pangas against each other because of politics. Like at the end of the day, you've quenched and I think there's a lot of blood rage and bloodthirst involved in politics. You've quenched whatever you are feeling. Are you feeling better about yourself as a person?
And I think
what did you accomplish?
I think I have an example of this. I have a friend, who is a Luo. So he really used to come through for his neighbor who was really alikuwa na shida. So he'd help him, ampatie food. But after 2007, the post-election, that neighbor came to him. Alafu pia the neighbor was so bad. Ni ule mtu mwenye alikuwa anaongezea chumvi. I'm like, see, Uhuru was born. Do you know he came borrowing that Luo something. The Luo just told him, my friend, then the state house, ukapewe unge yenye unataka. You see, so always mind about your neighbor as you do things. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who would bail you out. How utaenda kwa politician yote akusaidia? They even don't know you in the first place. Hata maybe hauwezi hata karibia get yao. That's the saddest thing.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's true. I think I remembered something. I'll try to brush through them really quickly. They are weighty points, but I don't know how I'd forgotten them. The reason why I also do not like Kenyan politics is that it doesn't choose its time. It chooses the worst time to show its ugliest face. I do not understand why we had KEMSA scandal, because that was really politically related, and BBI being pushed down on us during a pandemic. That was so wrong. And I think it should open our eyes to, like, do politicians really have priorities when they think about us? Or do they just, it's always a game with them. It's always what am I going to score next? I think we really need to think about that. Another thing is the issue of Hustler Nation versus dynasties. I really think when DP was bringing up this division, he had something in mind. He had a reality in mind that it shouldn't be dynasties. We are not a monarchy where someone leaves and then their son now takes over. We are not like that. We need to give equal opportunity to people who are actually leaders. He pointed out something that was right. However, the way it's been taken in is the problem. Now we've gone back to the division. We've moved away from tribalism. Now we've moved into dynasties versus, and people are being very rowdy. People are vandalizing cars, all in the name of hustlers versus dynasties. So at the end of the day, have your own mind. Do not allow anyone to influence you to do something you wouldn't have done if you were thinking for yourself.
And finally, what I'd like to say, we've gotten to a point where I'd say enough is enough. I think we should just wake up one day.
Enough is enough, Maze.
Solidarity, but always support one another. You know, I've seen this trend. Right now, if I could see Christobel is maybe vying for a certain political seat. Now, Christobel, yes, he's capable. She's my friend. I'm sorry. She's capable of doing it. But, utaona bado mimi am marketing these big people, the people who already have a name. So, let us try. Tuanze tu kuchini, supporting our friends. Ukiona your friend, because I think
not because they are friends, because they have something to bring to the table.
If they are capable and they can really deliver, then push it. Venye tu Christobel alikuwa anasema, like we should really hype them. You see, to the latter. And I think with doing that, and also we should learn an art of holding politicians into account, especially up for ground. And it all begins with hapo kwa MCA. After 5 years, do your vetting. Is it vetting?
Yeah.
Muulize.
If someone hasn't done at least something they promised to do, why would you believe them when they told you we are going to do it in the next 5 years? So I think
when this person or someone else will be vying for this seat, atakuwa very cautious with the things they'll be saying. Hata kama hatafanya zote, he'll try and do some of them.
Accountability and responsibility. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'd like to finish there for today. I think this is a really lengthy discussion because as we've been talking, I've just been remembering things like, I should talk about that. But it's a lengthy discussion, and we would like to welcome, just like we say, we like to start conversations and put this out there because we need to talk about these things, because we need change and because we need to do better and know better. So vote next year, and vote wisely. Don't just vote wisely.
Vote for me. Vote for
No, that's on a light note. Where them and oh yeah, I think Ato, you've reminded me something. I'm sorry, I know I was finishing up, but you reminded me something. Mostly when we, like the younger generation, call out the older generation, I think I've encountered this thing before. When I told someone this and this person is wrong, why are you supporting them? Why are you being tribal by supporting them? And I've been called out, I've been told that Isibasi will run if you can do better. Excuse me? Can you zoom? Excuse me? Like, why would you tell me such a thing? It's like it's like people who get babies because of baby fever. So you're telling me to run for a position because I have an opinion about it. And that is the wrong reason. I shouldn't run for a seat unless I know I am responsible for what I'm going to do with that position. You feel me?
Yeah, and the opinion is meant to be like
the position is meant something. Yeah, it's meant to rectify something. So don't throw stones and tell us to run. I will run when I'm ready and when I know I can offer what is needed for this country. As long as I know that I cannot fulfill what people need, there's no need for me running just for the sake of it. Yeah. That's about it. So thank you for joining us. Till next time. Ciao. Adios. Adios. I hope adios means bye. Bye.